Previously on Dances with Dice, when last we left our heroes, Finian, the halfling artificer, Felix, the human bard, and Theo, the satyr fighter. They had just finished up their community service, if it could be called that, and rushed away to try to get them out of the eyes of potentially prying guards. Now, deep within the cellar, and with an old friend, what awaits our heroes this week on Dances with Dice.
All right. So, you guys awake on a fine morning. The birds are singing. The sun is shining. You awake inside the Nested Nook in the town of Evercrown. And there is a breakfast spread laid out. It's a thing that the Nested Nook provides every morning for 1 gold. You can get like a little bit of a buffet breakfast. The order of the day is you have a lead at the Palindrome, which is a magical item shop that the envoy of the Five Fingers had given you. That was where the latest robbery had taken place. And he gave it to you as a opportunity for a sort of as a starting point for all of you. But outside of the obvious of, you wake up, you start your day. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you begin your morning?
I am a hobbit. I need to shove as much breakfast in me as possible to last me until, past 15th breakfast, I think is acceptable.
And this is definitely like Felix is watching this in stunned horror. He's like perfect table manners, using the correct fork, watching as Finian is like unhinging his jaw like a snake and just like pure horror and terror.
There's a druid like sitting on the other side of the table, like taking notes, like anthropological drawings of Fionn, like somehow swallowing.
You messed up the name
like
again.
You messed up the name. It's
Finian. Finian. Again, there's too many F's in my life when it comes to characters' names, and
F's in the chat for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this for fucking years now. Finian, like there's a druid taking anthropological drawings of Finian, and it's like trying to do the math of how he is shoving food that is the size of his head into his head, and it's like
accepting it into his tummy tum tum.
Yeah, it's a study. It's an anthropological study, and eventually, like the druid just like closes their book, and it's just staring in like both awe and horror.
Jesus Christ.
Theo, what are you doing?
Theo is. Do I have a lisp still? Am I good?
No, you are fine.
Nope, you're good.
Yay. Theo, I guess, is somewhere in between when it comes to the table manners. Like, she's not shoveling food in her mouth, but she's probably using the wrong fork.
Uses the soup spoon for the yogurt. The salad fork for the turkey.
Yeah, she definitely has her elbows on the table.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And she's also kind of watching in this like, but like not in like, but like just kind of like eating her food, but like absentmindedly, almost like you're eating popcorn while watching a movie. She's just like, what the fuck?
It's like completely opposite ends of the spectrum, and then someone kind of like in the middle, like not knowing how to like process either.
Yeah, she's just kind of hunched over, elbows on the table, just no.
I feel Felix has got like the napkin in like the collar and everything. Like it's just
Perfect posture.
yeah. All right. Well, your breakfast. You guys have breakfast. If you guys would like to chat or plan out the day, you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, you've got your location that you can go to. What do you guys like to do?
I think you've got something in your mouth.
Takes like a big gulp and is like, so what's on the first of the agenda today?
I'm sorry. All I can think of right now, and this is just because I was watching DBZ Abridged last night, is like it's the episode where they come out of the hyperbolic time chamber, and it's like, so did you guys get stronger? Mm-hmm. Can you beat Cell? Can you? It's like, did Gohan become a Super Saiyan? Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, for God's sake, swallow! And he like swallows like 50 feet of noodles. That's all I'm thinking of right now.
Section.
50 feet.
There we go. There's our one DBZ reference for the campaign. We don't have Vegeta anymore. There's only one.
For the campaign. It'll happen again.
Yeah,
Episode
we'll
4, baby. No more. I am free.
Well, we have our lead. We know that the palindrome is where we need to start.
Why do you think they call it the palindrome? Is there like stuff inside it where it's, like race car?
Do I know what a palindrome
You want
is?
to try a
Like, I feel like-
palindrome again that is like relevant in
Taco
fantasy times?
cat. Hannah.
Better.
Did Finian ask if he knew what a palindrome was?
Yes. Yeah, a palindrome is the same thing spelled backwards and forwards.
Alex knows that, but does Finn know that?
You went to college. It was engineering college, so like,
but
You went to college, but it was a state school, so.
I'm gonna
having gone to a state school.
I'm gonna go. I would say you know what a palindrome is. I think like the joke of it is because I guess Theodosia, you would actually know this because you know Evercrown a bit. The whole joke was there used to be two magic shops. There was just the like Arcanum Collective, like a generic sort of magic shop, and then the person who used to work there opened the palindrome because of terrible working conditions. And their joke was the palindrome, our prices are so good they're probably backwards, and that's always been the joke with the palindrome.
That's clever.
And after several years, they won their battle because the person who owned the Arcane Arcanum decided to retire and move to Covenheim to spend time with family.
Well, that rules out the.
Hell yeah,
I was about to think maybe there was a rivalry going on, and like they may have paid people to steal this stuff to try to run them out of business or something.
It's been several years since the Palindrome is not the only magic shop in town, but the Palindrome specializes in adventuring magic more than like your traditional trinkets or just standard magical items. It's more geared towards the army, adventurers, guards, people who will use these in a day-to-day sort of thing. So they're a little bit more expensive, and they have a slightly wider variety of items, which also is a reason they may have been targeted for theft.
Cool. To be honest, I thought you were going to tell me that the shop was run by someone named Hannah.
No.
It is
Race
now.
car Hannah.
No, you will meet the shop owner, and I have a feeling that you will love them, but...
Hannah Taco Cat Race Car.
It's like pick something that's more fantasy. Taco Cat. That wasn't necessarily more fantasy.
I mean, at least cats exist, and we can suggest that tacos exist.
Like, are you saying that tacos don't exist in a fantasy world?
See, we're getting into a dangerous territory because tacos are a traditionally ethnic food, which means I have to come up with the equivalent of what is fantasy Mexico, and I am not about to cross that bridge.
But like, how much of like high fantasy like lore is rooted in like people that were white supremacists? So
Exactly.
That's why it's very like English based.
You
So,
don't want to necessarily cross bridges that like it's like, oh wait, the answer on the other side is, oh no, it's racism.
So adding tacos is like an act of defiance. So, like,
Defiance. This is our very.
Okay, I
that's
will figure out.
praxis, baby.
I will figure out the anthropology of fantasy tacos for next episode.
Perfect.
I
Okay.
expect an entire
Well, then-
Latina-inspired like addition to our world.
Yes. Well, then, in that case, Theo is having a breakfast burrito.
I
Oh,
hate
fuck
you.
yeah.
And it's delicious because breakfast burritos are the best.
All right. Well, then. Let me just grab a few more of those pancakes over there, and then I'll be ready to go.
Can you really fit more inside your body right now? Aren't you a little full?
You'd be surprised how much I could fit in here.
I'm already surprised.
Touché. And he just like that comical like where there's like a stack of pancakes. He just like shoves the fork through it and then just starts like obviously this is
like cotton candy.
This is like a real world. Yeah, like the cotton candy. He's not gonna shove the whole thing in there because that would be impossible. Or is it? No, you're just gonna start eating it.
It's too much dough. You would choke.
Yeah, he's just eating. He's just like eating it like cotton candy, like Hannah says.
Like on a stick.
Yeah,
you got like one of those like little like tubes of honey that you get at like a fair or like at a Ren fair. You bite that off and you're just pouring that over the top. Theo, Finian has invented a new way to get diabetes.
I think you keep saying that because of Theo's name.
I need everyone who's listening to this because it's episode 4 and I need you to understand this. In the time between campaign 1 and campaign 2, I started playing a game, and one of the close companion I have for my player character is a halfling barbarian named Fion. And then these 3 assholes decided to get 2 F names and a name that sounds really like Fion. So I'm going to get confused. I already vexed and vaxed my two characters in the second episode. I'm asking for patience. Because it's going to keep happening.
We love you so much.
We love you.
Your name changes. Your name choices beg to differ. But regardless, you guys find yourself walking down the street through the trade district of Evercrown.
Making our way.
Making your way downtown. Somebody on a piano just goes whirling by on a cart, and you just hear.
I know you're referencing the music video.
Yes, Finian.
Oh,
Good
I was gonna say.
question.
Oh no, you're fine.
All right.
Good.
Do you guys just make your way to the palindrome, or is there somewhere else you'd like to go first?
I think Theo's probably just heading straight there personally, unless they want to make a stop. She's just kind of like, let's get this over with. I need to get out of this town.
Lead the way. You know where we're going.
Oh, that's true. We do.
All right.
Are we going to get the map of Evercrown? I know you finished it.
It's in the
it's
in the World Anvil.
Ah, yes.
And it's in cast chat if you scroll up far enough.
Ah, yes.
But the store is not labeled on here.
No, it is not. You guys are in the Magician's Wing, which is where the palindrome would be.
Cool.
And are we coming from Merchant's Wing?
You are coming from the Gilded Quarter, actually. That is where the inns and areas are. The inn that you stayed at was just outside of Archibald Park, which is where Finn had gone to. Where Finian had gone the previous night after your guys' meeting.
I have a pouting fest.
Exactly.
Oh.
All right. She just starts leading the way, like very quickly, and just sort of like with purpose.
All right. You guys make your way to the palindrome. The first thing you notice is the boarded up is a window that is magically reconstructing itself. So like the shattered glass is like reforming and refusing back into a perfect window at the front. And the final thing that you notice is the under new management sign that is at the front of the store. And there is a letter posted there, and it's a heartfelt thank you from the original owner of the store, whose name they're not dead, is Hannah, who thanks everyone for many years of business and wishes you to welcome the new store owner into the town as they were welcomed when they started their shop many moons ago.
Lovely name.
I'm 50-50 on it.
There were a couple jokes in the name, not just the our prices are so good they're backwards. The store is open. It's the door is unlocked. You guys are welcome to enter if you so desire.
Let's do this shit.
All right, let's go.
All right. As you open the door, you see it's a fairly cozy shop. It definitely appears bigger on the inside. The walls are a little wider. The shelves are very nicely stocked. It's got that fun. Every magical shop in Amoth all kind of have like their own little like quirk and their own little shtick as kind of like it's purely a marketing thing. Like you enter a magic shop and like the door sings a fun tune that's personalized to you, or like the shelves move around to show you like goods that you're interested in, or and in this one the center shelves part into form three different like all the shelves were together, and as soon as you open the door they part into 4 different aisles and kind of organize themselves as such. So every little magic shop does a little trick like that, and it's sort of the idea of it not only welcomes you into the shop, but also informs the store owner that people have entered because they hear all of their shelves moving around at breakneck speed.
Instead of just the traditional little bell, ding ling ling ling, it's like a whole fucking show.
You live in a magical world, you're gonna flex a little bit.
Yeah.
When everyone can do prestidigitation, everyone's gonna do little tricks.
Fair enough.
And emerging from the back of the shop, you all see a beautiful, beautiful woman. She appears to be human. She stands 6'6", wearing a black, plunging, almost sheer V-neck dress that runs to the floor with two gigantic leg slits, and like the V is plunging to like the belly button. Gorgeous. You can see rippling muscles across like the entirety of her frame. You can see wisps of blonde hair, and you just catch the hint of a blue eye. But it's very distracting because there you see this beautiful body in gorgeous dress capped off by a very intricate black and gold plague mask that this person is wearing. And they see you, they see you, and it's like, oh, well, welcome. It's
How we
so
know they're
lovely to
beautiful
have
then?
you all here.
Finn,
My name
Finn
is Kat. How can I help you?
Finn is currently gathering his jaw off the floor.
She walks around the counter, and you see that she's wearing like 7-inch platform, like thigh-high boots. And Finn, you come up to like the first lace at the bottom of the boot, basically. She's very tall.
We're all like craning up to look at this beautiful woman.
I'm so sorry. Let me adjust myself. And she snaps her fingers, and like the boots turn into flats, and so she's like gone from 6'7" to just 6 feet now. So she's like a slightly more normal height.
I'm still like not even at her crotch.
No, you've come up to, you're now at knee height now.
Knee,
You're at perfect, like, mommy. Just hug the leg.
Uppies.
Uppies,
Uppies,
yeah.
mommy.
just God.
I'm so sorry.
All I can think about is that TikTok where like the giant dude comes in, he's like, "What would you do if I came in your house and like wanted to hug her?" He's like, and the little dude runs out and he's like, "Uppies, hey, you promised." He's like,
I'm also thinking it's like there's like that comic of like the black cat, and it's like, I am the void, I am the night, I am terror, I demand uppies. But yes, she looks at all of you. Also, I'm gonna tell you, is like, I completely blanked. This is not the accent she's going to have. My mind just went back to C1. She is not gonna have a southern accent, so don't be shocked when it changes in the next 5 seconds.
Deletes southern accent out of notes.
Delete southern accent. But she looks at all of you. It's like, well, is there anything I can do to help you?
Hello.
We're here to help you.
Oh my god. We're investigating the recent burglaries, and we understand your establishment was the last one to experience this theft. We came to ask a few questions so that we can... Oh my god, boys. I apologize for them.
Oh, it's not a problem at all. Well,
Finian's currently doing like math in his head to figure out how to scale her like a mountain.
it's like, well, I do appreciate the help. I wasn't necessarily expecting something so soon, but it's always appreciated. And she like kind of reaches down, and she like kind of like reaches down and pinches Finian's cheek. Just such strong and wonderful adventures like yourselves. Welcome
I am
to the palindrome.
Finian's.
My name is Catherine Dubois, the Mistress of Magic. And as always, our prices are so good, they're almost backwards. I do love that little bit, not getting rid of that one.
Of course. Indeed. So, would you be able to tell us exactly what happened at this location? Is there a place you'd prefer to talk? It was right here at the opening.
Let's just step into my office. And she snaps her fingers, and the shop moves around you, and suddenly you're no longer standing in like the open area. You're now kind of in a lounge office sort of thing. So like there's like a desk, there are some comfy chairs, there's some shelves of library books, and it's like my private study.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And she starts approaching that way. She looks back at the boys. Come along, boys.
Oh no, you guys have all been warped into
Oh,
this.
we
So
already
like you
warped
didn't
in?
even you didn't even move.
sorry.
It's like you just
okay.
you were like
Sorry, I was taking a
Just-
quick note and my brain turned off at that point.
yeah, you were just shifted
Sweet.
into the office. Like,
Okay,
please take
excellent.
a seat. Would you like some refreshments, tea, water, something stronger? It is early in the morning.
Finian just like raises his hand, like, like still kind of like doesn't know how to talk to this person.
She snaps her fingers, and a full tea set sort of floats over and just begins pouring some tea, some honey, some wedges of lemon and milk. Please help yourself.
He does.
She like kind of swirls her finger in a teacup on a saucer, floats into the air, and just kind of floats a couple of inches away from her face as she like kind of picks it up, sips it, and like sets it there. It's like, to answer your question, Theodosia,
Theodosia immediately at the sound of like hearing her. Like, has anyone said Theodosia this entire campaign? I feel like people have just been saying
This
Theo.
woman knows your whole fucking Christian name.
I'm pretty sure Bartholomew did. He did it to mock you.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he probably did. He probably did say my full
I'm
name, my
fairly
full
certain
Christian
that
name.
he had said it to kind of make fun of you.
He probably did say Theodosia, my full Christian name.
Yeah.
But Theodosia's clearly like a little like off-put by the suddenly Theodosia like just sort of like that. But like continues either way. She doesn't
like,
really make any other. Sort
In terms of what was it was I don't know if it's as big of a deal as some are making it out to be. Some odds and ends was stolen, trinkets really, things from things from the darker times, relics of the war, small scraps of paper written in ancient Draconic, artifacts mostly, nothing of huge value, though. And I never really looked too deeply into them, of course, but a small chest, and you see on her bookshelf, there's like a dust pattern for where a chest's at. It was an heirloom of the shop. I was told that one of the requirements for purchase was to make sure that this box was protected at all times. It was a box containing three very intricately carved gemstones, and they all beautiful carvings. They looked almost like you had plucked, rock from the side of a mountain and like sort of molded it in living stone. It was beautiful. One was a deep purplish black. One was a almost bright sapphire green with a swirl of gold that sort of runs through it like a pattern. And the other was a bronzish, sapphire-ish color, almost like gold and sea, almost like the gold of the sun and the blue of the sea mixing together.
Hmm.
No markings on them other than the patterns, and no. I was never told what they were, just that they were very important and supposed to be guarded. I was told, what was it? I was told that at some point in time, someone will come to collect it, and when they need to collect it, you will know that it is theirs. And, well, I was getting the shop for a deal, so I didn't think too much of it. Just a box with some rocks in it. They were very pretty to look at occasionally, but that was really the most jarring thing stolen, because everything else had some sort of intricate value. I would honestly argue that the most important thing that was stolen was the only page of the fourth volume of the Book of Chromatis that was stolen from me. It's the only page of another volume that I am aware of that exists outside of the first one. But that's really all that was stolen.
Whose phone is on?
That was me.
Oh.
The DM?
Yeah.
How dare you and assume it was one of us?
How dare you?
I mean,
It usually is.
all evidence to the contrary. This is the first time I think I've fucked up in a while. Anyway,
My phone is always off when we record. Saying.
My phone's always on silent.
brag about it, why don't you?
The 3 gems weren't enchanted at all.
Not that there was a magical energy to them, but in the same sense that and she like picks up a pendant off the desk. This little pendant can communicate with another pendant that she picks up another one. These two things can communicate, not unlike sending stones, only there's no distance that they cannot cover, and you do not need to speak the words audibly to be able to use it. And if you were to feel this or touch it at all, you would feel a latent magical energy to it just in its shaping, even if the active effect is not always there. The stones had a similar function. I figured it was from their shaping or their molding that gave them their latent magical energy, but no, I've cast Identify, I've taken them to magical experts of which I am are aware of a variety of things, and they never emitted anything other than low-level magic, no specific spell or school. Just they seem to be pieces of decoration that, for some reason, people care quite a bit about.
So the things that were stolen were just some relics of the war, small scraps of paper, artifacts in this small chest, and a book.
A page of a book.
No
A
books.
page of a book.
A page of a book. I'm sure you are aware of the. You are probably aware of the Book of Chromatis.
Yes.
Theo would most definitely be aware of this book. She might have even have read it. Should I roll for that to
I'm
see if
sorry,
I've actually read it?
A history of the Brood of Chroma is what it is, and this is all of you would be aware of this. It's a very famous book. This was basically the Bible of the Brood of Chroma / Chromatus, as it eventually evolved into. It is a 6-volume book that is divided. It's a large manuscript divided into 6 volumes, and each of the volumes deals with part of the chromatic dragon's plan and the instructions they received from their dark gods or their dark masters that led to the war. The first 3 volumes have only the first 3 volumes have been found ever complete. And so volumes 4, 5, and 6, only scraps and pieces of paper have ever been found. And this one, this is the only for her. It is one of the few pages of the 4th volume of the Book of Chromatus that was stolen. Was one of those pages.
So she didn't have the full book. She just had
just a page, just a page of it. Her copy of volume 3 was stolen, but that's less of an issue because the first 3 volumes are fairly readily available. But it's valuable in the sense that it was an original translation, so it's from the actual time of the war.
She becomes a little. Theo's clearly leans forward and is clearly a little more interested now. Do you remember what these pages said?
Oh, it's been quite a while since I read them, but the 3rd volume is the 3rd volume, though it was an original translation, so a couple of hiccups and things there. Volume 3, of course, speaks mostly of Volume 3 speaks mostly of the conquering of Volocross and the dragon's fiery and destructive reign upon the other continents and the horrible things they did to the elves and dwarves over there. The page of the 4th book, I believe, was a recipe of some kind, though I was never able to translate it. It was always in such an old and ancient form of Draconic, it's almost lost to time at this point. And being such ancient and magical, most spells are unable to penetrate it. You need an actual dragon to translate, and, well, there's only one of those, and he doesn't like to leave his home all that often anymore.
Yes, we are very aware of him.
I hear he was great at parties for many a year.
Theo, quite obviously, is just at the mention of this dragon, is just kind of like a little peeved, a little more rigid.
Finian's just sitting there like he's kind of like for really not even paying attention too much. He's like, okay, I've heard like what was stolen. He was kind of like when the stones were brought up, he kind of like was, and now he's just like having his way with the tea and like food.
Just making himself
having his way with it, you say.
He's making himself the ultimate like little finger sandwich that like is stretching to the limits of what a finger sandwich can be. It's like he's like straining his hand to try to hold this tiny sandwich.
It's like a Shaggy and Scooby finger sandwich.
Oh, to recap, it was just the chest and these pages that were stolen.
A couple of artifacts. There was a dragon claw that was purported to, again, no one can be certain, but it was purported to be one of the claws off of the dragon of the first emperor of Mercia, Matthias. There was some old dragon scales, origin unknown, but they were a mix of both chromatic and metallic, and just a very nice carved pendant from Dragonbone.
Dragonbone?
Yes, I believe it was a... Hang on a second. I have a inventory of what was stolen. Give me one moment.
There does seem to be a theme here.
Certainly.
They're stealing dragon artifacts.
It was a pendant. It was a pendant carved of dragon bone to the god Zem. 6 interlocking rings. 6 interlocking rings. In a pendant on just I believe it was a leather string.
we have to roll religion to remember what Zem does, or can we just go to the world anvil?
All of the gods, all of the baseline knowledge of the gods, you guys, that's like grammar school 101. You know who the gods are and what their general stuff is, but like if there's any like for example, if you wanted to try to figure out if there's symbolism between Dragonbone and a particular god, that would be a religion check. But like you know what each of the gods are. Zem is the god of death,
Death.
you know, etc. etc.
Interesting. Did this Dragonbone, did this pendant have any properties to it, or was it just that?
No, just a pendant for worshippers who wanted something a little bit fancier for their talismans. And I mean, I suppose those are the
Strange.
most important items. Of course, like gold was stolen, windows broken, like it was a robbery. But in terms of items, they went for some of the more expensive things, but also ignored quite a few of the more powerful magical items I do have here.
Quick question then. The other magical items that you said that weren't stolen, would they happen to be non-dragon related?
A few of them are. Some of them are not. For example, and she snaps her fingers, and like your guys are back in the store, and like several items come flying off the shelves. This scale mail armor of psychic resistance. It has some dragon scales involved in its magic. She snaps her fingers again, and a cloak comes flying off, made of like a leathery sort of skin. This cloak of the manta ray was partially made from the leftovers of a dragon wing many, many years ago. Not a living dragon. They had shed their wings at that time, and the leftovers were used to make this cloak. And what else do I have? Oh yes, and then a quiver of arrows come down. It's like all of these arrows are tipped with dragonbone, dragon slaying arrows, though they don't get much use these days. So it's not. And again, all of these are the more powerful of the items. They have actual use. You would need translators and scholars and knowledge that has been lost to the ages to make a huge amount of use out of the things that were taken. At least in my experience.
So would you say it was more raw material then, as far as the dragon items?
I would say so. Things that scales and claws and things like that. The documents. And then, of course, the chest with the gemstones.
Of course. Is there anything else that you think would be imperative? Any direction they went? Or were you here when that happened, or did you just arrive in the morning, or?
I caught them just as they were fleeing. It looked like they were heading south. I know that
Towards the dock.
as much as we try to stamp things out, there are smuggling operations down at the docks. I would assume that's where they might have been heading, but there's any number of hiding places between the Magician's Wing and, well, the docks of the city.
Of course. Boys, do you have any other questions?
Nothing jumps to mind.
In Finian's head, he's like, nothing that's appropriate.
God.
It's like, I'll be back for this other half.
Alex really said, I will take the horny mantle, though I do not know the way.
It's
Look.
Karma got to be really horny last time, and I had to play the straight character. I'm not doing it this time.
Large, muscular woman, tiny man. I don't know. Like, it's just.
Alex is out here trying to live his short king fantasy.
Yes.
Alex is simply a man who wants uppies.
Where's my massive muscular orc woman to come pick me up? Because I am a 6-foot man. She's gonna at least gotta be like 8 feet tall.
It's gotta be tall. It's strong. It gives puppies. You heard it now, ladies. If you now
Accepting applications.
Please submit your application.
It's the
Pick
ultimate.
up Alex Drastel and give him uppies.
The ultimate dichotomy of men over 6 feet, as Alex and I are, is just like men over 6 feet. We want nothing more than to be picked up and held, and then everyone else under 6 feet. God, I wish I was tall. And it's like, no, we just want to be picked up.
I
Please
want
hold
to
us.
use the uppies.
It's like we're so tired. We want uppies. We don't want to keep giving the uppies.
Is there anything you boys would like to try to purchase before we leave?
No, the shop is open, please. And there's a variety of other things. Like if you guys wanted to get some health potions, or like they have normal stuff as well.
Is there any kind of like looking like something I would use, like materials that a artificer would use?
It's not a lot of raw materials. This is very much a
Okay.
finished shop.
Okay.
Shops like that exist. They would be in the merchant's ward.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they would be in the merchant's wing. If you wanted to like get stuff like that, but the magician's wing is like mostly finished product. There's like a couple of things, but they're definitely there's like charcoal and incense, like stuff that's aimed towards spell components versus
Gotcha.
construction components.
I don't think I have enough money. I don't think I have enough money to buy anything.
Yeah, I only
I
have
was
100.
just thinking that. I was like, I don't think I can afford anything that would be useful.
Right.
I mean, healing potions are 50 gold.
I have
Yeah,
99 gold,
Let me.
but we
Just how
probably
much
should
gold I
because none
got.
of us have healing spells.
Did you say they're 50?
Lies.
Yes.
That's literally all the gold I have.
I have
I mean,
800.
you've got a bard. A bard
You
has
are-
healing
yeah,
word.
That's true. And then you also have persuasion.
I also
you can
have.
haggle. You're a bard now,
I have
Morgan.
cure
You can haggle.
wounds.
Oh yeah, you've got 2 half casters. You've got a half caster and a full caster, and then beef stick with sword. Technically,
Beef
Maul.
stick.
All right. We probably won't die.
Probably won't
Meat
die.
stick, go.
Well,
Sounds horny.
I'm so sorry. I love that Janko has got one little leggy stuck out of her circle.
yeah.
The old razzle dazzle.
She's
Yeah,
giving the old razzle dazzle.
Yes.
The old razzle.
Razzle dazzle.
Sorry, listeners. We're all in Discord, and Hannah's cat is very adorable, laying in a little tower right next to her, and she's like perfectly curled into a circle, except for one leg that is sticking out of the. It's very much the human equivalent of covered in 7 blankets. Stick one leg out so I don't get too hot.
Did you mean Morgan?
Yes.
That's how I tuck Morgan in. I just like, then you had the one leggy out.
The feet gotta be out.
Temperature control. That's
Um,
just cleaning the toe.
The cat looks
probably
at all of
had-
you. It's like cat looks at all of you. It's like, if you'd like to make a purchase, I suppose since you're helping me out, I could help you out in a little bit as well. Let's
Oh, you
say.
can help me out, huh?
Oh my god.
Oh, you'll have to
Oh,
complete the
God.
job
Oh
first.
god, I shouldn't have
darling.
said that.
You're
She-
a bard. You're allowed to.
She like you watch as like you as soon as you say that, you watch as the heels re-sprout. She's back up to her 6'7". It's like, and she like leans down like hinged at the waist and gets right in your face. It's like, oh darling, that's after you've done the job. And then
I'm just speechless. I'm just
And
like,
she's
then-
over
and
there
then-
like doing the like heavy breathing, just.
Finian is that gif is the cat reaction
Yes.
image of just the fat cat heavy breathing.
Theo is face palming. But I
It's
swear,
like
man, we
more-
are
it's-
professionals.
Felix is out here just like vibrates in bard.
Look! Finian hasn't said anything stupid. He's keeping it all inside as much as he can.
Finian's got
It's written all over
a
his face is
lock.
all.
Yeah, Finian's got a lock on the horny, at least.
Felix is just like panics and bisexual.
But she looked at all of you. It's like, I'll say, for the moment, since you're being so very helpful, buy one get one free. On
Just like,
anything,
how much-
on anything under 100 gold.
Yeah, I'll take a healing potion then.
Okay.
I
So
do.
you
two
can
healing
get
potions for 50.
yeah. So you get 2 healing potions for 50.
What kind of
Fi-
healing potion?
Just a regular one. Standard healing potion 2d4 plus 2.
My
Alright.
gold is
I-
now 0.
Fucking Finian just does the fried, shut up and take my money.
All right.
I suppose I
Everyone-
should take up on that as well.
Anyone who takes up on this deal, you may add 2 healing potions.
There we go.
Also, if you're feeling froggy, you could get 2 scrolls of prestidigitation for 22 gold. Because that is also so everything that is for sale under this deal, you could get healing potions, a scroll of prestidigitation, or a scroll of control flames. Those are the only things under 50 gold in the shop.
I'm good.
Damn.
Everything it's the palindrome is it's an expensive shop. It's not cheapy. The cloak of the manta ray that was made of the dragon wing is 6,000 gold.
But I thought they said their prices are so good you might think it's backwards or some shit.
Technically, it is. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're just
Alright,
broke.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're now you're welcome to the whiplash of we were level 20, money is no object. Oh God, we're so poor.
Yeah, our money used to have commas in it, and I went from 50 gold to 0 gold. Just
what
now.
are money?
I have 49 gold.
Yeah.
I have 50 gold left.
All right. So,
Alright.
you guys, is there anything else you'd like to do in the shop? Any more information you'd like to try to gather?
I want to do a quick just investigation to see if there was anything left behind that might lead us to or help us identify a location, perhaps.
Absolutely. Please roll an investigation check. You may all do this if you'd like.
I have a +0 to my investigation now. Because
what's
I have
it
a
like?
+0 to my intelligence now.
Oh wow, what's it like to be a martial class?
Where's my 20? Where's my 20 intelligence?
I got a nat 20.
I got the
Ooh.
one.
I rolled a 16 plus 7.
I used to have a plus
So a 21.
10 to my investigation.
Theo, you said
Oh, wait,
you rolled
22.
a 10.
I rolled an 11.
You rolled an 11. The one thing you're able to tell Theo with that 11 is you kind of like look at the window. The glass was broken from the inside, not the outside. So the glass was broken during the escape attempt, not for the break-in. So they were professionals getting in, and they panicked on the retreat. You said a 21, and then what's a natural 20 for you?
Sorry, 23. I can't
23.
math.
23, and then what's a natural 20 for you, Morgan?
22.
22. Okay.
As you said, investigation, right?
Investigation, yeah. The two of you, between the two of you, kind of brain blast your heads together. The horny has combined, and you have found intelligence. By our powers, by our libido combined, we have found the secret.
Literally thinking with your dick.
Look, I'm in
Quite
intelligence class. Like,
the big thing that you find is you like kind of like explore the store a little bit, and you kind of like watch the movement of, and you kind of like you start watching the pattern and the movement of the shelves, and you notice finally that one of them is like, and it finally dawns on you, one of them is rocking in a strange way, like everything else slides smoothly and nothing is catching and nothing is like wrong or anything like that. And you finally reach under one of the shelves, and underneath one of the shelves you pry out a scrap of purple fabric, and there is a sort of half faded symbol on there. It looks like a half of a shield or something, and you both look at it for a moment, and then it finally clicks with both of you. This is a symbol of one of the dock houses on the warehouse. This is a scrap of uniform of a dockhouse guard's cloak. That not the guards of the city. It's a hired guard for one of the shipping companies down at the docks.
What'd you find?
seems we have a place. Well,
I'm gonna
seems we have a place
show
to start looking.
Theo I'm gonna show Theo the symbol because since she lives here, she might know specifically who it is.
All right, Theo, please roll me. Please roll me a history check with advantage.
Sweet. What do I have on my history? Probably big old fat 0. Oh, I have a +2 to my history. Sweet. Ooh, I rolled a 17, +2, so 19.
That's with advantage.
Yep, that was with advantage. The first one was a 14.
Oh, okay, both are good. You hit the DC on either of them. It is a uniform scrap of It's a uniform scrap of the Villanova Shipping and Storage Company. They are a dwarvish-based company. They're one of the few dwarvish. They're one of the few cross-continent companies, so they're a massive, massive shipping conglomerate. And they are mainly a facilitator. So like people who are looking to ship and store goods before they go to market, that is primarily their if you imagine fantasy like U-Haul storage or something like that. Like they are mostly storage, transport, logistics, facilitation. They get your goods from one place to another. Fantasy FedEx, basically.
Fantasy FedEx.
I love how we just
Obligatory, popular with the lesbians.
Exactly.
I love how to like describe things. We just go fantasy, insert whatever thing you're trying to have people
Yeah.
relate. I know.
It works. It's a universal thing. But yeah, they because my initial thought was like, like fantasy Amazon. It's like, no, because they don't sell things. They just move stuff. They're basically a shipping company. Villanova, it's Villanova Shipping and Storage.
Shipping and storage. This is Villanova Shipping and Storage. They're one of the only ones that moved items cross-continent. Does that mean they moved them across the sea too? Like,
Yeah, so Villanova is well known for because they're one of the few companies that have the strength outside of the merchant guilds and the syndicate of the Isle of Arda. They're one of the few people they're one of the few like shipping companies and conglomerates that has the power, that has the shipping power to get goods from Volacross over to Odos and vice versa. It's not that neither side really knows about each other. It's more just even recovering after the war, rebuilding like planting trees to be able to rebuild navies and ships takes a while. And it's only been 150 years, so it's now just that like international trade and shipping is starting to kind of like uptick again because everyone can now build boats again.
Sick.
It's one of the things about worldwide wars that no one talks about is just logistics get completely fucked when you destroy everything.
They're very large, so there's no way to know if they are personally involved or workers for them were hired for this job, and they're merely going to be shipped. These items are going to be shipped off somewhere else, most likely. To
It's a
whoever.
place to start.
Yeah, at least we got a place to look in the beginning.
Yes, of course.
All right, then
Well, let's
we're
get
heading to the docks.
All right, let's go.
Best
Thank you
of
so
luck.
much,
Oh,
Miss
I'm-
DeBoer. If that was her name, what was
Yes.
it again?
Oh no, just Catherine is fine.
Thank you, Catherine. I'm sure we'll be seeing artwork of you very soon.
Ah, sorry.
The final thing I'll tell you before you depart, very important, to locate the chest, or locate the items. All of them, they have, what was it? There was a carving of five dragon claws on the chest itself, where the lock is. If they have not removed the stones from the chest, that is where you'll be able to at least find the chest, hopefully.
Thank you so much for. Oh, sorry.
Oh no. You'd think being a place of, such magic, you wouldn't have some sort of tracking devices on your items.
Well, it's something of a. Once a tracking spell is placed upon an item, while it can be removed, there's no proof that it is removed. Therefore, when it comes to the trust of buying and selling items, you have to establish a trust between you and your customer. And if I can track every item I sell, then I can go and retrieve those items, steal them back from my customers, and sell them again. And therefore, there's the reason at least most of us don't do that is because we have to build a reputation and a trust that the items we're going to sell aren't going to go kaput on someone. Also, it's Evercrown. It's a fairly safe town. This is the first string of robberies we've had in about 80 years, so I suppose I should start doing it now, but it hasn't been a problem up until now.
Well, if you're looking for something non-magical, here's my card. I, pretty good at making things.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Finian. And she reaches down and like kind of tucks a strand of your hair behind your ear. I'll make sure to remember that. It's like ability to Finian.exe has stopped functioning.
Just foaming at the mouth.
It's just like open task, right click, open task manager, end task.
God.
Open command.
Finian blue screens momentarily, and you guys take him out of the shop.
Thank you so much. All right, boys, we know where we're headed.
All right. Is there anywhere else you'd like to stop before you head down to the docks, or are we just heading there straight away?
I think we're good to go.
right.
Theo's gonna take a quick little pause. Hold on, I need to. She's gonna take. Hold on. Just as they're kind of like walking, she kind of just like stops. And she's going to think to herself. And she's gonna just, for the first time in a long time, sort of. Bargash, does any of this sound familiar?
Are you saying that out loud, or are you saying that in your head?
In her head. She's not saying
Okay.
that out loud.
Damn you. I'm taking notes on you, but if you're saying it in your head, I'm not going to write it down because I don't know it.
A few moments go by, and a voice answers back to you. Dark forebodings cloud the future. Though it is an old enemy, not a new. Be wary, Theodosia. There is more at stake here than you know.
And she doesn't respond to that, but she opens her eyes. Okay, let's go.
I like side eye
What
at
was
Finn, and
that?
I'm like, what the fuck?
I just needed a minute to breathe.
Please roll a deception check. Actually, no. I need
That's
to
a
roll
hidden
your
roll, isn't
deception
it?
check.
Yep.
True.
It's been a minute since we've done this. But just for shits and giggles.
Why did I close out of D&D Beyond?
All right.
I have
so,
a +1 to deception.
All right. So Theo has a +1 to deception. I need what are the insights for
I have a +1.
what? Oh, okay, you've got a +1 to your insight, and what do you have?
+4.
You guys both believe her. Looks like she just needed to take
Cool.
a breath.
All right, let's get going. If they're a shipping frickin' like as big as you say they are, we probably should get there before they disappear. You know, they're already gone.
I heartily agree.
All right.
Keep moving.
You guys are able to make your way down to the docks with speed. No, again, it's still early-ish in the morning. It's still like it's before 10, so not a huge number of people are out and about. You arrive at the docks after about a 15-20 minute walk. There's a variety of shipping warehouses and different things around, and you start to kind of look about and you see the Villanova warehouse. It's got a normal number of guards on it. Like, there's a couple of people patrolling. There's nothing too crazy going about. Ships are coming and going. The docks are moderately quiet for, as much as a small shipping hub can be. What would you guys like to do? How would you like to approach?
So she doesn't know exactly where these people would normally be?
No. You guys are like standing on the docks and like probably like a 5-minute walk down the docks. You see the warehouse. So it's
Okay.
about how do you want to approach the warehouse?
I don't have any particular skill set in moving quietly. How do we want to? Do we just want to walk right up and talk to them? Or did you two have something else in mind?
You are also entirely welcome, if you so desire, because like, again, it's still early morning. If you want to just sit and observe for a little while, you totally can.
True, might be.
Yeah, let's get a lay of the land a little bit and take in some information before we do anything
All right.
stupid.
Of course.
So, you guys, I'll say you take an hour or two to observe. It gets to be about midday. I would like everybody to please roll me a perception check, please.
Hey, Django.
Django would like to be part of the podcast, please. She
I rolled,
keeps
like,
rubbing her face against the microphone.
I rolled a 9.
9, okay.
I have a +3 to my perception, too.
19.
19.
15.
15, okay. You all come up with an observation. Theo, with you are able to start picking up on guard patterns. You notice that every half hour the guards leave for 15 minutes as they do a full patrol of not only the warehouse, but the surrounding like quarter-ish mile of the dock itself. So there's about a 5 to 7 minute window that you have to where the warehouse is completely unguarded and is blind to the guards. Finian, you notice that at least with this particular warehouse, no large cargo is coming in. It's all small crates, handheld items. It feels like a lot of personal shipping, which doesn't, given the warehouse of its size, it could store like large, like what would be the equivalent of large shipping containers in our world. It could store that much, but you haven't seen a single large container be dropped off in several hours of observation. And Felix, you notice that every hour, a particularly not a small ship, but like a more of a boat, like somewhere between like the size of like a rowboat and a small speedboat. Once an hour, actually technically every 45 minutes, some variation of a small boat pulls up to the dock. One person unloads, walks into what looks like the side of the warehouse, and you never see them reappear, and the boat then just departs after they've dropped them off.
So do we kind of relay all of this to each other?
I assume, and I'm going to work under the assumption that unless you guys say I'm not sharing this information, all information is freely shared with the group.
Okay, I just want to.
So basically, the onus is on you guys to keep your information secret.
Cool.
Felix, did you notice them wearing anything? Any sort of identifying clothing?
It was dark cloaks and nondescript clothing. Like they looked like dock workers. Clear. I mean, if they were doing anything, obviously to try to blend in, but
But it's not like they're wearing something that
you didn't see symbols or anything. It wasn't. It was beiges, whites, linens, cloaks, like the stuff you pass dock workers wearing a variety of the same things. Nothing struck you about their clothing.
So,
I know that this might be a stretch for, or maybe it wouldn't be too much of a stretch for Theo. But I'm trying to figure out if would Theo be able to have a theory that Hannah created in her head?
I mean, tell me the theory, and I will tell you if it. I mean, it's really going to be like, if you've got a theory, justify it in character, and I'll tell you if it works.
So you want me to talk like Theodosia?
Yeah, work through it. Work your way through it.
So we know that it was primarily dragon artifacts that were stolen from the palindrome. And we are noticing that this giant warehouse does not seem to be containing any large items or carry, I don't know, containers. And every 45 minutes, a person is being dropped off to enter the warehouse and does not come out. And the boat just goes and leaves without them, presuming that there's people just being dropped off just to be inside the warehouse. I don't know.
Hear me out. Unless you got something more, but
I do have more,
to add,
but please go. Please do
just
go.
to add on, the people disappearing, that leads me to believe that there's a different way out that we're not seeing, or this is some sort of potential smuggle, like where they're bringing them in, and they're not bringing in any big items because they're moving them somewhere. Like, they're able to get out somewhere else, because we're not seeing them leave.
Yes.
So it has to be able to be hand-carried.
Yes, my thoughts are that perhaps it could be a cover for something more devious on the inside, or perhaps there's a secret entrance within it to get to the hideout that we are seeking. My additional thought, I am well versed in a number of dragon-related things. I've read up on quite a bit, and I'm very familiar with the type of people who seek them out. I worry we could be stumbling into a hideout of a dragon cult.
Ooh.
These are individuals that, for the most part, well, it's hard to tell which ones want what, but for the most part, my understanding is a lot of times they want to potentially resurrect the less favorable ones, or sometimes they might want to resurrect the favorable ones. I cannot remember. I need to probably roll for that.
The only thing I will say, because again, you are all well versed in the history of your world, you all know what the dragon cult is and was. Theo has made endless amounts of sense up until the moment she starts talking about dragon cults, because everyone knows the cult was destroyed when Chromatus died. They haven't seen a cultist. There hasn't been a dragon. It's like, it's a little bit like
She
having
just suggested the tooth fairies in there, basically.
not necessarily. It'd be like somebody like having a really the best way I can describe this is somebody just gave a incredible TED talk and like a good breakdown on strategy, and then said, it's like,
and at the end did the whole like, and aliens.
it's basically it's like so the villain is aliens, and it's like, wait, what?
Like the ending of the Indiana Jones movie we don't talk about.
Yeah, it's not quite conspiracy theory, but it's very much one of those things where it's like, I mean, it's more of like it's more likely that it's just
Silly.
a smuggling it's more likely it's just a smuggling operation versus a cult, because like dragon artifacts still have value. People trade in them. They're one of the few smuggled things. So like everything makes sense about smuggling. Why would it be a dragon cult? There is no dragon cult anymore. It's dead. We dealt with that. That would be the only thing. That's the only thing that seems weird about this conversation.
Dragon cults? Are you kidding me?
They're still
No.
around. You think they just went away just because the dragons went away?
No one's heard of anything like that in forever.
I have a feeling that this enemy is not a normal enemy, like just a regular smuggling, that they're older a bit, someone that perhaps our world has encountered before. Why would, if it was just a regular smuggling operation, why would they only target the dragon items? It was a whole shop full of items. They could have just been going in there, like, whatever, superstore style, whatever, just shoving things off the shelves into their bags. They had free reign of that entire building for an amount of time. Why would not take everything they could?
I mean, it's potential. Someone could, you know,
Or
people
dragon
are
artifacts are
collectors.
worth a lot.
Well, I mean, like, people are collectors. You know, like, someone might be like, you know, like, yeah, the other things are worth something, but someone might be willing to pay more for something of, like, a collection or something very specific. Like, there are other things. I mean, Dragon Cult seems a bit out there.
Quite.
But, you know, hey, fuck, if we run in the Dragon Cult's shit, that's... I just don't even want to think about that.
It's like you'll get your I told you so moment pretty quick.
Yeah. Theo's very kind of clearly like frustrated. It's almost like she runs into this a lot whenever she tries to talk to people about this.
You're very much you're the conspiracy theory friend.
Yeah. She's had to deal with this quite a bit.
You're insane.
Fine. I just think that we should be extra careful because obviously, if I am right, they are going to be a bit more dangerous than standard smugglers.
I don't know.
And if you're just insane...
I'm not insane. I know what I'm talking about.
Look, there's no real evidence to say that she's insane. I feel like that's a bit harsh.
Thank you, Finny.
As you guys are discussing this, as you guys are having your discussion, you finally all notice what the timing matches up to. The guards now leave and do their quarter-mile patrol, and at that very moment, another boat pulls up.
Cool.
I would like everybody to please roll a perception check. It's still just the one. It's the one guy. Empties off.
Whew. Yeah, 19.
19.
15 plus 3 perception, so 18.
18, nice.
13, 16.
Okay, you all notice it. You watch as they press in on a particular stone in the wall, and you watch as a door silently swings open and they descend a staircase. The boat pulls away. You have a couple of minutes to try and follow if you want.
Theodosia, like, immediately is, like, starting down to go follow.
Okay.
All right. I need everybody to please roll me a stealth check. This is not a stealth check to get up to the door. This is a stealth check to descend. Because you already know where the door was. You all saw it.
I have a disadvantage on stealth. I have a +2 though.
I got another nat 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
How
I actually
would
have a...
an 11 do?
Okay.
I rolled an 11, but I have a +4, so that's a 15.
All right. Theodosia, you almost slip and fall on the slick stone steps.
My little hooves just...
Yeah, your little hooves just almost like slip out underneath you, but Felix is there and is able to catch you and steady you, so you don't cause any noise. And if all of you would go to roll 20, please.
I don't even have roll 20 open. Whoops.
I've been here in a while.
And you will all find yourself. Well, I'll wait till everyone arrives.
Sorry.
No worries.
I'm just noticing 11 is approaching.
No, don't worry.
Then
feels ominous.
And as you all descend, you find yourself in a dank, dark
eyeball?
cellar. The torches light the walls. The stone is damp and dark, and you can hear a pulsing humming sort of sound, like a whoom, 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 sort of reverberating through this entire sort of cavernous expanse. And you look up above you, and you can see the foundations of the warehouse above you, and you've noticed oh, we are in you've found something of a smuggler's den. And as you hear this whoom, whoom, this whomping sound, and the sounds of doors opening deeper in, and locks locking, and gears and cranks turning, and you all kind of take in your surroundings in this dark sort of stone cellar / prison area you have entered. That is where we will end our session for today. Thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of Dances with Dice. Please follow us on all social media channels at Dances with Dice. When you use the hashtag DWDcast or DWDart, we will use you as named NPCs in the show. But thank you so much for joining us for another episode, and join us every single Tuesday for new episodes of Dances with Dice.